Welcome everyone to this week's live Q&A. I am Nefertaria Fonde, the founder of this wonderful community for Parallel-Preneur powerhouses. Those are professionals who are building a service or product-based business alongside their 9-to-5. They want to get clear on who they serve and how they serve them, confident in their selling skills and how they sell, get cash into their business, get cash in. So guess what? God gets the glory. So I'm going to start this week like every other week with our announcements, and then I'm going to introduce our special member spotlight, Ms. Heidi Kleine. So of course, every week you can come here and get your question answered Wednesdays live at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Do not get stuck. If you have a question during the week, just write it down. Make sure you bring it to us. We're also getting ready to put together a form so that you can submit your question early so we can ensure that we tag you and answer your question. Even if we cannot answer it, you can't join us live. This month, we're having a challenge called Prospecting to Profit, how you can get cash and your next client in the next 5 days. That's right here in our community, and it starts on June 21st. You will need to register for that, and we'll make sure that gets into the comments of this video as well as in the description of this video as well. Make sure that you're inviting other parallelpreneurs to this community. I am believing this is going to be the #1 place for parallelpreneurs to hang out, to get support, get clients, get connected, and get what they need to continue to move their business forward and move that vision that God gave to them as far as their ministry in the marketplace. Don't forget, we do our community networking event monthly on the first Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Also, we're not, just FYI, we will not be hosting one on July the 6th due to the holiday being on Monday, but we will have some posts going throughout the community where you can introduce yourself and ask for what you're in need for. So if you need guests, appearances for your podcast, or you're looking to be interviewed on podcasts, you're looking for guest bloggers, you're looking for joint ventures, joint partnerships, whatever you may be in need of, you're looking for a particular kind of clients or connections, just make sure you put that inside of that thread. So without further ado, I would love to reintroduce and introduce to some Ms. Heidi Kleine. Please tell us about yourself personally, as well as the business that you are currently growing, so God gets the glory.
Hi, well, first of all, thank you for inviting me to be here. I am really excited to get more involved with your community and get to know you a little bit better. As you mentioned, my name is Heidi Kleine. I am, I like to call myself the level up coach. I work predominantly with clients in ministry and or people working in sort of justice-oriented nonprofit settings. I like to say that I like to strengthen and empower leaders so that they can be God's hands and feet out in the world, and that is the gifting that I have found God has given me. I'm not the person who is necessarily going to be boots on the ground, but I'm very good at working with people who have those gifts to help them learn how to take care of themselves and be sustainable in their ministries. And so that's kind of my coaching niche. As you talk, you know, as we're parallelpreneurs, right? So my full-time job as of right now is the director of faith formation at a large Lutheran church here in the Triangle area of North Carolina. I've been doing that for about 10 years now. I was part-time, and I was just starting in my coaching practice and planning to really focus on it when the opportunity to do work in the church full-time became available, and I just felt like that was where God was calling me. And then over the course of this last decade, have spent time working in that environment, but always loved coaching. And so I kept my coaching practice going and have built that up on the side. I am the proud mother of 4 amazing daughters. They range in age right now from 29 to 19, and are out in the world doing amazing things. And just I'm ready to focus. As we were talking about earlier, I have taken that adventurous leap of telling my full-time employer that I would like to be part-time soon. And so I am here to talk a little bit about the transition between full-time employment with a side gig to part-time employment with more of a full-time hustle.
Okay, good. Yeah, well, you're in the right place to discuss that. Absolutely. So I want to just do a refresh of the room and say hi to the people that are giving us comments. So hello, Demarius. Hello, Angela. Excuse me, Angel. I'm so sorry. I mess your name up all the time. Thank you so much for joining us. Definitely say hello to us in the comments. If you have a question, please put it in the comments and we definitely will get back to that. And also hashtag replay if you end up having to watch the replay. So Miss Heidi, when people reach out to you, what are they normally struggling with that you help them with? And then I want you to share with us with a tip in case there is somebody that's listening to us that is in that area where they're looking to be hiring someone like yourself that can help them, but what's one tip that can get them a quick win?
I think, it's interesting right now. We are coming off this year that has just been crazy, like nothing we've ever experienced. And for caring professionals who are in a ministry setting, we hit the ground running, right? We're going to take care of our people. We're going to find all these new ways. And then we've been doing that and it never ended. And now all of a sudden, some people want to go back and we never really figured out what current was. And so the main thing I'm finding in my clients right now is this just overwhelming fatigue, decision fatigue, right? Like there's just layers and layers of decision on everything. And so my quick tip would be that you have to acknowledge when you're in a service ministry in particular what you've done, because the reality is the problems that we're facing, the things we are dealing with are too big for anybody to handle, right? So if you're looking, we aren't going to solve poverty, we aren't going to solve racism, we aren't going to feed everybody, right? But who did you feed today? Who did you empower today? Who did you lift up today? Closing every day with a time of reflection about how did you serve and where were you successful in serving can help sort of tamper down that sense of this endless fatigue of not making a difference.
Oh, that's awesome. I think that can be used for any of us because we all show up to our businesses on a consistent basis and we don't always see the results of what we've been doing. It may take 5 days, 50 days, 500 days before us to see the result of what we did today. So I definitely like acknowledging and taking the time and see how did you serve today, even no matter what that might have been or how small it might have been, because you never know what the impact or the triple ripple effect that will be in the future and later on, right? So one seed, one plants, one water, right? So you just never know how it can impact.
Yep.
So definitely, thank you so much for that tip. And like I said, I feel like that could be useful for any of us that's running a business and every day you have a lot of decisions that you have to make.
Right.
So just taking the time and reflecting on what you were able to accomplish and how you had impacted some of the people that you came in contact with.
It makes a huge difference. Makes a huge difference, I think.
Absolutely. So do you have anything going on right now? Any events coming up? Anything where we can support you? Anything you want to share with us? You got a freebie or anything like that?
Yeah, well, over on my website is HeidiKleine.com. It's easy to remember, just my name. And I have something called the Level Up Loft, which is where you'll find sort of my offers. It's my classroom space. I have a freebie there on your Level Up Blueprint and one on getting started in social justice work. But the thing I'm kind of emphasizing right now, I started something called Fifth Friday Forums. Because again, when you work with a lot of volunteers, all of our meetings are first, second, third, fourth, whatever of the month, right? But when those bonus fifth Mondays or fifth Fridays or fifth whatever come up, there's usually not the same meeting schedule. And so I have created a program on the fifth Fridays of reflection. And the first one I did was about a month ago. It called What Now? And it's a chance to reflect on this last year, do some grief work around what we experienced over the last year and some planning for the going forward. And that's available as a recording, so you can work your way through that. And then the next one will be on July, I think it's July 30th, whatever that fifth Friday in July is, right? And I'm calling that one like What Next? So kind of just playing off the what now, what next. We're building on, again, a little bit of evaluation about where we've been and where do we find ourselves now, and kind of some time for self-care, but also intentional goal setting and reflecting, looking into the second half of this year. And that's, I do them on Friday afternoons. So.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So make sure y'all follow Miss Heidi Kleine at www.heidikleine.com, where you can find those resources. And don't forget the the fifth Friday forum, and the next one's on July the 30th.
Okay.
And it's what's next, right?
Yep.
Okay. So in true weekly live Q&A form, what is your questions that you have for me tonight?
Well, as I mentioned, I am in this transition phase. As of July 1st, I will be going part-time in my previous full-time gig, and spending a little more time focusing on my coaching practice. And so I'm just trying to sort of come up with a plan, some ideas about how to build that practice. Right now, most of my clients are sort of coming to me organically through my current contacts. And I know that if I want to grow this into full-time, I'm going to need to broaden that reach.
Okay. So what has been some ways that you already tried to broaden that reach?
Well, I've started, honestly, I've been a little spoiled, right? Since the clients have sort of come to me, I have a blog, but I'm not consistent. I have a Facebook group, I have a website. I know that a critical thing for me in this next phase is going to be sort of consistently showing up in the places that I already have. And, connecting with new people, new potential venues. I love to work with faith-based entrepreneurs, faith-based coaches, finding spaces where, like I like to say, where people are looking to be God's hands and feet.
I love it. God's hands and feet. Love that. So you said you currently have a blog, you have a Facebook group, and you have a website. What are some things that you can do to be which one of those do you prefer to be consistent on?
Ooh. Kind of all. I really want to get in a writing habit. I did write a book very early in my coaching practice, and that book was largely an old, as a collection of old blogs, and I got out of the habit. I haven't. When I'm blogging, I feel more connected with both the people that I'm talking to, but also, with my own ideas and sort of the direction I want things to go. And so I think that for me, that the starting point is to get consistent about the blogging, because then, posting the blog on the website and in the Facebook group and all of it ties together. But to me, the content creation in the blog is probably where I need to start.
Okay. With your current schedule or your new schedule that may be coming up in July, where do you think you can fit in? What's the best writing time for you?
Well, I think the main thing is going to be getting intentional about my time and sort of flipping my priorities. I find what works best for me is sort of if I have some rules. Like I currently am saying that I have to read in the morning, whether it's devotional reading or other reading, before I can grab my phone or anything else. So having a day where writing has to happen before other things probably would be a good place to start.
Okay. So what time do your devotionals normally start?
Usually around 6:30.
Okay. So would you want to do your writing after that or before?
Probably after.
Okay. What time?
Well, actually, so I think for writing takes me a little longer. So right now, my typical sort of reading devotion time is 6:30, and then I try to work out. So I think the writing has to happen sometime between exercise and the way the rest of the day goes.
So you're saying after your exercise, or you're thinking another day altogether?
Well, I think I need kind of as I'm saying this, for a while I was being really good about like 9 o'clock was the start of work. And maybe what I need to say is that 9 o'clock is the start of work, but that's also like writing time, like 9 to 10, the first hour of at least a couple days a week needs to be writing.
Okay.
For content
Which couple
creation
days you want to
general.
stick to? Yeah, what are the 2 days or couple days you want to do?
I'm going to say Mondays and Thursdays.
Okay. Mondays and Thursdays. Now, do you feel that if you commit to writing 9 to 10 on Monday and Thursday consistently, that will help you be able to connect another way to get clients?
I do.
Okay. How do you feel about that?
It snowballs from there. Once that commitment is there, then then I've got a reason to send out an email, and I've got a reason to post something on I think that is a good starting point for me.
Okay. So do you feel that you are clear on what your next steps are in order to start getting clients from a different lead strategy?
Well, I'm clear about what I think I want to do. I'm just not clear on whether or not I think that that is is the right way for this to happen. I think I'm willing to say at this point I need to do some experimenting and see where that takes me.
Okay, so what's your thoughts about trying that for 30, 60, or 90 days and actually tracking your results to really see if that is a good strategy? Because you're right, not until you test it do you really know, because clarity comes through action.
Right.
So you're possibly not clear on if that's gonna work, but you're clear if you do that, it will be a different lead strategy, and you can see if it works by testing it over the next 30, 60, or 90 days.
Right.
Do you agree with that?
I love the idea of being intentional about tracking. Actually, that's one of the things that I've been saying in my coaching, that in this post-COVID reality, you know, experimenting is crucial, but experimenting has to have intentional reflection as part of it, right? We can't just throw stuff out there. We have to throw stuff out there and then evaluate. I got a little distracted. I've seen a couple questions in the
It's okay.
Facebook group.
I think it's a lot of hellos right now, unless you see some questions I don't see.
Okay. Yeah, I see Garrick was saying, asked me if I'd ever considered vlogging, you know, blogging, doing videos.
Okay.
And I have.
Okay.
I'm pretty comfortable with video, but I just haven't, again, put the time and energy and focused into that. But the other question Garrick asked was, what was your deciding factor moment for the full-time, part-time? And to be real honest, that was it was a powerful. I had a morning where, after kind of 2 days of dreading my work, I coached 2 clients in a row that it should have made me tired, right? Like 2 solid hours of coaching. And then I had another meeting after that. And when I went to that meeting, I was so energized and excited. You know, I was just on a high, and I'm like, I want to do this because it's energizing and it's exciting. And if I'm dreading the other thing, and then honestly, the second component was getting real honest about money. As I mentioned to you earlier, I have as many clients right now as I can while I'm working full-time. And I believe that, you know, I will be able to increase that if I have more time. And so I can make the choice to flip that bargain. So I hope that answers your questions, Garrick.
And Heidi, did you see any more questions? Because they're not populating on my side yet. So you see any more questions for you or myself?
Let's see, hold on a second. There were a couple questions. I think there's one for you that says, how can I refine the messaging for my new offer? And that is from, not quite sure how to pronounce this, Nortie?
Norjay, okay. How can she refine the messaging? Okay, Norjay. The messaging. Did you see anything else?
That's it.
Okay. Norjay, I'm gonna tap on that just for a little bit, but I would love for you to come and be a member spotlight so I can give you a little bit more time on that. When it comes to refining your messaging for your new offering, you got to think about who is the offer for, what is their pain points, and what is the results that they're looking for, so that you can start now putting that out in the marketplace and attracting those people, those specific people that have those specific pains, and looking for the results that you can provide for them. Let me know if that gets you on the right path. And like I said, we can schedule you for a member spotlight as well. Thank you, Heidi, for giving me those questions and answer the questions for Garrick. I'm sure they found helpful. So back to you. Are you with the Monday and Thursday, an hour of writing between 9 and 10, tracking it for 30, 60, 90 days to see what the results that you can get from that tactic, marketing tactic? How do you feel about that?
That feels really good.
Do you feel confident that's the right step for you right
now? I do.
Okay. Do you feel if once you do this, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, actually, I think I can make that commitment for these last few weeks, even of doing both jobs. So that'll put me Absolutely. In a spot of being prepped for that.
Okay, cool. And definitely, if you do this, you're clear on the next step, you're clear that by tracking it, you can definitely see if this works for you or not. And then it's a potential of giving you the cash that you're looking for. So God continues to get the glory, and you continue to put people out there to be God's hands and feet.
Right.
Is that an amen? Yeah. Absolutely. Well, I have done my job here. You've got it clear. You've increased your confidence, and we're wait to hear how you're going to increase the cash in your business as well. Please share with us before you go how they can connect with you on social media, and share us your website one more time.
Okay, so my website is just HeidiKleine.com. So www.HeidiKleine.com, and you got to get all the E's and I's in there. So it's one E and two I's in Heidi, and two E's and one I in Kleine. So it's nice symmetry and all of that. But I'm also on Facebook and Instagram, and you'll find those links on the website.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Heidi, for joining us this night. I hope it's been all that you had experienced that you wanted it to be. I look forward for you checking in and letting us know how your coaching goes and what happens in the next 30, 60, or 90 days with you blogging on a consistent basis, or even trying vlogging like Garrick suggested.
Right.
Definitely keep us informed.
And thank you for the opportunity. I've always said coaches need coaches. I learn as much being coached as I've ever learned in any coach training. And so I just appreciate the opportunity to be coached by you.
No worries. It's my pleasure and an honor to serve as always. Yes. And all coaches have coaches. If you don't know, I got coaches. I'm sure Heidi got coaches, because you're right. You got to continue to be coached.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining me, Heidi. Until the next time, everybody be profitable and be blessed. And don't forget to come back here next Wednesday and get your question answered, or be a part of our next member spotlight. Hold please.